yeah, on the media of the 21st century. The name of the jam is Love Ballad, and I hope you guys are having a beautiful day on your end. And welcome to another episode of the Africa Today Show. My name is Julie, in case you're here for the first time on all our YouTube channels. For those who are with us on the Keith Newsam Live, the Keith Newsam, and of course on Black Hot Network. And of course, for those who are with us also on the radio station, Karibuni Sana once again. Karibu Sana Keith, how are you doing this afternoon?
Nothing silent, Joby. How are you this day?
I'm good, easy, nothing much. Can complain.
All right. That's what's up.
Yeah, so we're gonna be extending much because I tried to reach you, but I think your phone is off. But yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
be
my phone was
extending.
out. What happened? Yeah, my phone was
Yeah,
off. What happened?
I'm saying we're gonna be extending on the Tucker Carlson conversation of yesterday. But before we
Okay.
get to that, I have a few videos I wanna share. A little bit, one with a little bit of history, another one talking about the Minnesota protest, literally about the ICE agents and how most of the people are saying this is a psyop, and also looking at Americans how they're talking about the economy today. So, Karibuni sana, but before we
And,
get into that,
and also they signed the bill. All you Somalis are gone. You under special protection. Trump just said you got 90 days. You got to go. ICE
hmm
will be there. Start deporting all you Somalis all over. Not just Minnesota, wherever you at. They said, my boy Dan said you're in Nebraska. I'm in Nebraska. So Nebraska, Maine, Ohio. So you guys got 90 days. Ones who don't really got any green cards and American citizenship. You got with special, what is it called? Special protection, whatever it is. That's over. You got to go.
hmm
I guess you'll go
all
back
right.
to. I guess you're flooding to Kenya.
Nah, they're not welcome here too. We want them gone. The disrespecting,
Girl, to go back. You had to go back to your great culture. You had to go back to your great culture of Somalia. Heard some Somali talk about it's us. It's us. You're jealous of us Kenyans that we made your country. You're jealous of us. We're the rich ones. If you're so rich, go back to your goofy country and build it then. Crazy.
period. Tell them louder enough. But also, we're gonna be discussing about Trump, who is supposed today to be interviewing. I think today is reportedly supposed to be interviewing. There's an interview schedule of him interviewing the BlackRock CIO, that is Rick Ryder, and
See,
we're gonna be talking
the
CIO.
CEO,
What
chief
they're calling
executive
him the
CEO.
CIO. They're calling him the CIO, not the CEO. CIO. I don't know
Oh,
why they're calling him CIO.
CIO. That says the chief economic CIO. What is that? The chief. Okay, I don't know what the CIO is. I know the CFO is. Maybe the chief financial officer. I know the CEO, chief executive officer. I don't know what a
Yeah,
CIO is. Okay.
yeah, the same Trump is supposed to be interviewing the CIO of BlackRock, Rick Ryder, for Federal Reserve chair. So we're gonna be looking deeper
Oh,
into.
of course. So yeah. So all they're doing is this. Who owns BlackRock? You know what family owns it? They just putting another one of their puppets into as if Trump's got any interview. It has nothing to do with them whatsoever. No president controls nothing to do with their Fed. He's told to put this person in. That's what they do.
Yep, exactly. But let me start with this little bit of history. Today is Wednesday, and I like sharing some history because I think I've been sharing. Last year, I tried to share the American dishes and how they're related to, back in the continent,
Africa. Yeah.
those episodes. And I don't think I have many or any left food that you guys have not talked about. But yeah, a little bit of history today as we get to start.
Late on the evening of December 1969, Fred Hampton
Hey, Red
wrapped up a
Hampton.
lecture on politics and law. He then retreated to share a quiet meal with his fiancee, Deborah Johnson. And despite the seemingly peaceful night, there were unseen forces at play. In the early hours of December 4th, without warning, a sudden violent raid broke the stillness. Within moments, a storm of gunfire left Fred Hampton and fellow Panther member Mark Clark dead. As the dust settled, startling revelations came to light, disturbing autopsy findings, manipulated crime scene photos, driving the deeper
All
mystery
manipulated.
surrounding the death of Fred Hampton. And we
Also,
like stories like
understand
this, we
part of
find
that.
more stories
Understand
like
that. Understand the federal government wanted him gone. Remember, it's hard to believe that Fred Hampton was just a baby. He was 20 going on 21, just turned 21. He's a baby, but he was a danger to white power, right? And that's what they so. Imagine he's a baby. This is crazy how revolutionary. That's why you goofy islanders ain't got nobody like us. Um, about fighting. So along with the FBI was told to neutralize them, get rid of them. So we know the federal government conspired to get rid of him because it's a danger to white power. They were the only people that can't be allowed to be free. The only people that can't be allowed to just exist in peace and prosperity. Because he didn't preach any hate to nobody. He didn't tell you to hate anybody. But yet but him speaking up for black people, giving free lunches, health care, that was a threat. Getting education to black people, that's a threat. Go ahead, Joe.
It is always again. What do you mean? 5% is waking up 90%. It is a big problem. You want
Well,
90% to have critical thinking. It's crazy.
OneMicHistory.com. If you like audio only episodes, you can find One Mic History wherever you get your podcasts. But without further ado, let's get started. Fred Hampton was a young, influential black activist in Chicago, known for his leadership qualities and his community activism as the chairman of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party. Yet, to understand Fred Hampton, you need to start at the beginning. He began his journey with the NAACP, where he successfully expanded their local youth council. He also spearheaded community service programs like the Free
now
Youth
remember the
Initiative, and
NAACP is a fake black organization. Him being a child, that created by the hats for the hats. It's a fake black organization like the African Union. It was a black organization for black people in America. They didn't control it. They didn't run it. They didn't create it. It is a hat organization. Go ahead, Joe.
organized protests against racial discrimination at his high school, prompted positive changes in the school staff. During the late 60s, this was a time of significant social and political unrest. His strong opposition to the war in Vietnam only drew him closer to his activism. By November of 1968, he had become the founding member of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party for self-defense. But prior to him joining the Black Panther Party, his activities had already attracted the attention of the FBI, then led by J. Edgar Hoover. The FBI had labeled him as a key leader in its agitator index, marking him for considerable surveillance. To this end, his phone was tapped for 9 months as the FBI closely monitored his growing influence and activism. See, the FBI's counterintelligence program was specifically focused on undermining groups that it deemed subversive, with the Black Panther Party being one of its main targets. The program aimed to obstruct and neutralize these organizations and prevent the rise of a Black Messiah. Hampton's impact extended far beyond the Black Panther Party. In a remarkable effort to bridge divides, he worked tirelessly to unite various gangs in Chicago, leading to the formation of a Rainbow Coalition. This movement was based in economic solidarity, amplifying his influence and making him a considerable concern for law enforcement and the FBI. The possibility of a unified Black movement posed a significant threat to J. Edgar Hoover and his vision, as he believed that groups like the
your unity globally is a threat. I'm about to tell you about this goofy FBA move. It's fake, it is phony, it is the government shit. Because most people found Tariq a moron. They're stupid. So they just being loud. They're the loudest ones. They're a small minority, and they like to speak for everybody else. And some dude say, "Hey man, ain't you an FBA agent? I don't subscribe to your. You don't get that. Define me as your goofy ass nomenclature, you moron, or Black American. You don't get to tell me, ain't you an FBA? Ain't your foundation of Black American? Listen here, moron. I don't accept your terms. Okay? Don't try to put us in your one goofy coat. All right? You're a minority coat. They'll come and try to say, why you ain't one of us? And then I thought you goofy FBA's are Indian. If you're Indian, how you got Black in your title? You're foundational Black American, but you're an Indian too. You don't even make any sense. Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
The young patriots, the young lords, could unite a revolution that could transform the United States. This fear was a driving force behind the establishment of their counterintelligence program with the intent to disrupt and dismantle organizations just like these. So, in the fall of 1968, the Chicago FBI office initiated its counterintelligence program specifically to target the Chicago Black Panther Party. A special racial matters squad within the FBI was organized to focus on these efforts, with Roy Mitchell as a notable agent involved in specialized actions against the Panthers. Mitchell will recruit informant William O'Neill, who was serving time at Cook
Of
County
course.
Jail, and recruited him to
Always get
infiltrate the
duplicate.
Black Panthers. He was already on the payroll when the Chicago Black Panther offices opened. O'Neill would then join the organization and quickly rise through the ranks, becoming the chief officer of security. In November of 1968, Edward V. Hanrahan would become the Cook County State's Attorney and established the Special Prosecution Unit. He then assigned a special squad of 9 Chicago police officers to work directly with the FBI's Racial Matters Squad against the Chicago Black Panther Party. By June of 1969, the FBI was already coordinating raids against the Chicago Black Panther offices. Integral to these operations was William O'Neill, who had already infiltrated the party and was continuously relaying intelligence to the FBI. Unbeknownst to many, O'Neill had risen through the ranks and not only become the director of security, but was serving as Fred Hampton's personal bodyguard.
And the
O'Neill's
spy.
commitment seemed genuine,
Crazy.
and he even went so far to rent an apartment for Fred Hampton. On the night of November 13th, 1969, FBI agent Roy Mitchell met with William O'Neill, who provided detailed information on Fred Hampton's apartment layout, including Fred Hampton's bed location with other specific details to help create a plan for a possible raid. On the
Assassination.
evening of December 3rd, 1969, Fred Hampton taught a class on politics and law and returned to his apartment where he had dinner with his pregnant fiancee, Deborah Johnson. Afterwards, they both fell asleep, unaware of the looming danger. In the early hours of December 4th, 1969, a team of 14 officers arrived at Fred Hampton's apartment. Armed with a search warrant for illegal weapons, what unfolded next was a rapid and violent sequence of events. Fred Hampton was resting in the back bedroom when the raid began. Despite the chaos and noise, he remained eerily unresponsive and passive, a stark contrast to his usual alertness. His fiancee, Deborah Johnson, noticed this change but could do little when events took a dark turn. As gunfire erupted, Fred Hampton briefly stirred, lifting his head only slightly, but could scarcely move and remained silent.
They probably
After the
drugged him.
initial barrage of bullets, Johnson was arrested and pulled into the kitchen. She recounted hearing a chilling remark from an officer stating that he's barely alive, but he'll make it. Moments later, 2 gunshots echoed throughout the
Shot
apartment,
him again.
followed by a
Right.
cold declaration that he's good and dead now. The surviving Panthers described the raid in similarly haunting detail, emphasizing that Hampton was still alive after the first shots, and subsequent gunfire seemed to confirm a more sinister intent, suggesting an execution rather than a legitimate police action. In the raid's aftermath, Fred Hampton and Mark Clark, a visiting Panther leader from Astoria, Illinois, were left dead, and the police arrested the remaining Panthers on charges of attempted murder and aggravated battery. However, public outrage and skepticism grew, particularly after Cook County State's Attorney Edward B. Hanrahan claimed that the Panthers initiated the gunfire. This assertion was starkly
Crazy.
contradicted by both physical and survivor testimony. The numbers alone painted a chilling story. Between 90 and 100 bullets were unleashed by the police. In stark contrast, the Panthers only allegedly fired 1 shot. This massive gap in gunfire quickly led to questions about the police claims of self-defense. Soon afterwards, an independent autopsy was spearheaded by Black Panther member Bobby Rush in coordination with Fred Hampton's parents, unveiling a startling discovery. Hampton had a significant dose of Sedanol, a powerful
I,
sleep-inducing drug,
I
in
knew,
his system.
I knew he had to be drugged. Exactly. And remember, Bobby Rush is another no good bootlicking. They got him. He's another agent. See, they infiltrated the Black Panthers, put all kind of handkerchief head agent Negroes in there to tear it apart. That's why I say you got to know when you build any kind of real black organization, They're gonna come and infiltrate you with handkerchief head niggas. Always. So we got Bobby Rush, who's an agent as well. He's probably talking to Fred Hampton's parents. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make sure he gets all he needs, and we're gonna do a good autopsy. Knowing his ass is an FBI informant too. Ain't that funny? We know his ass is a no good informant too. Go ahead, Joe.
This revelation explained his uncharacteristic passivity during the raid and suggested that he was drugged, setting the stage for a calculated murder. Peeling back the layers of that night's tragic events, an autopsy clarified the bullet trajectory. Astonishing, two bullets had penetrated Hampton's head from the right in parallel paths, suggesting that he was shot at close range while he was still
Right.
asleep.
Yeah,
Outrage
they
fueled
walked up to
Chicago
him and they shot him in the
on
head
December 9th.
because the FBI said make sure he's dead. So they went up there while they supposed to shot him and he was gonna live. They made sure he got close range and shot his ass in the head. And that's why the girlfriend heard his ass is dead now. Go ahead, Joe.
5,000 mourners gathered to honor Hampton. Reverend Ralph Abernathy delivered a poignant eulogy, cautioning that if the Black Panthers were silenced, other social organizations would be next. Bobby Rush urged those present to transform their grief into action and perseverance in the struggle.
Bobby Rush. Bobby Rush. This bootlicking Cooper said, hey, let's calm down. Let's not fight. Let's not fight. Fred wanted us to be calm and peaceful. Not knowing he was a whole agent. Bootlicking ass nigga.
Exclusive photos from Fred Hampton's apartment with the Chicago Tribune, attempting to substantiate claiming that the Panthers were the ones that initiated the gun battle. However, investigative work by the New York Times exposed that these photos were misleading and what was represented as bullet holes were in fact nail holes, a revelation that just deepened the outrage. The escalating demand for truth forced the Justice Department's hand, leading to the appointment of a federal grand jury to investigate the deaths of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. The community's efforts and civil rights organizations like the NAACP and the Chicago ACLU rallied together and they denounced the raid as part of a wider government effort to dismantle the Black Panther Party, branding the deaths as political assassinations. December 19th, despite widespread upheaval, an internal police review cleared Edward V. Hanrahan's unit of any wrongdoing, but the persistence of unanswered questions only fueled scrutiny. By January 3rd, 1970, a federal grand jury mandated that Fred Hampton's body be exhumed for a second autopsy. This investigation corroborated the Panthers' account that Fred Hampton was asleep when the shooting began, and the bullet trajectories painted a harrowing picture of him being shot by someone who had entered his room. The public's plea for justice was reverberating loudly, and by May 8th of 1970, Edward B. Hanrahan withdrew all charges against the 7 surviving Black Panther members present on that night, conceding that there was absence of evidence against him. Shortly thereafter, a federal grand jury released a comprehensive report disclosing that the Special Prosecution Unit officers discharged at least 82 shots, while only one of them could be traced back to the Black Panthers. Over the next decade, legal clashes reached all the way up to the Supreme Court. And in 1982, a settlement was reached for $1.8 million to be allotted to the families of the estates of Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, and the surviving Panther members, with the financial burden being shared between federal, county, and city authorities. Fred Hampton's influence as a revolutionary and a leader who established community programs and allegiances made him a target. But the backlash of his death contributed to the political downfall of Edward V. Hanrahan, who had once been a potential candidate for Chicago mayor. And in 1972, he was voted out of office, and it effectively ended his political career. That same year, Huey Newton closed all Black Panther offices outside of Oakland, and the Black Panther Party would officially disband in 1982. In remembrance of Fred Hampton's legacy, the Chicago City Council designated December 4th as Fred Hampton Day. Thank you. This has been one of my...
Yeah, so long live Fred Hampton, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But I was just looking at this and your question, is this now today in the history of Black people's books today? Are
No.
today's generation learning this? And we go back to white people again, since they love always justifying their action. Do you teach literally also your generation the things you've actually done? At least try even
No.
teach it
Because
to
No, they're not going to teach that because remember, everything they're the villains, Joey. They're the villains. They don't want to show themselves as the villains. They're the villains.
Oh,
History, they're the villains. There are no heroes. They're always the villain.
mhm.
Somebody get mad. Oh, we're not gonna be apologizing because we're white anymore, Joey. Because of their history, they're the villain.
That was J.D. Vance who said that there's no more apologizing for being white. There's no
Exactly.
reason.
And they never have felt bad. It's all cat. We're not gonna be apologizing for being white. We're savage. We're gonna steal and kill. That's right. They try to mask it, try to pretend like they change. Like I told you, times change, they don't.
Literally.
Shit.
As we continue, we have literally, let's look into this interview that is supposed to be done by Trump about the new federal chair, literally the Federal Reserve's chair,
Yeah,
where he's going to
reserve chair. But
be interviewing this.
like I said, the president don't have no control over the Federal Reserve Bank. It's over sure not owned by us. It's owned by a group of people. They decide it's gonna be Fed chair. Not no goopy president, not their goopy puppet. And Trump is a puppet. This is who you're gonna put in there. This is what we tell you to do, and that's what you're gonna do.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Joe.
Breaking news as it relates to BlackRock and Ripple, Trump and Black. We have some breaking news as it relates to BlackRock and Ripple, Trump and BlackRock. I want to get out on your radar. Interesting times we are living in, guys. I want to talk to you about what is going on. Break this all down. If you do like talking about Ripple and XRP, type an X in the comment section, smash that like button, and let's get into it. I want to start with first what is going on with President Trump to interview BlackRock CIO Rick Ryder. This just came out here today, January 12, 2026, for Federal Reserve Chair position. Now, many of you are aware of what just came out last night with current Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell in hot water and being freed this May. Now, Donald Trump will reportedly interview BlackRock Rick Ryder for the Fed chair position, and Rick Ryder actually joining 3 other finalists for the Fed chair position.
No. Now pause this. Now you see this. Pause this, Joe. You see this all kabuki. It's all fake. It's all fake. BlackRock. People that own BlackRock own the Federal Reserve Bank. It has nothing to do with Trump or none of them. None of what they tell you who they're gonna. There's 3 people that's gonna be in the running. The people that own the Fed, that own BlackRock, have already made up their mind. So that's who they're going to put in there. They say, oh, Trump has chosen this person because of his eloquent, his credentials and blah, blah, blah. That's for like Joe. That's for the morons and the cheap seats who can't critically think. Trump has no power over, and that's what Jerome Powell told him. They told him he can't fire me. He has no power over the Fed. That's true. You know who tried to get power of the Fed? John F. Kennedy. And what happened to him? He got his whole head blown off. Right? President Kennedy said we're going to get rid of the Fed and make a real bank. And what happened to him? They killed him in broad daylight in Dallas to send a message. You're going to do what? You're going to get rid of what? I don't think you're going to be getting rid of anything. Right? So the idea that the president has any power over the Federal Reserve banks is kabuki theater. He does not. He's told what to do. He's a puppet. He's told who to put there and then make some goofy speech. This is the person I wanted in here and blah, blah, blah. And knowing behind the scenes who really put these people in power. Go ahead, Joe.
Unless, of course, Jerome Powell chooses to step down sooner. Trump says he will make his selection in January, which we were mostly aware of, right? That he was going to make a decision this month in January. Let me know in the comment section below who you think his pick will be. There's some interesting comments below this. BlackRock already owns everything, and now their employees
exactly
win more.
They own exactly. They own everything, and see, but you not realize the people that own BlackRock, own the Fed. That's why. Yes, BlackRock owns everything. You got Pepsi and Coke and Nissan and Ford and Nissan and shit. They own all of it. So you think you got competition with car companies, soda companies, everything else? BlackRock owns all of it. That was the way that his family could buy everything up and say, oh, it's under BlackRock. It's under Vanguard. Then you find out BlackRock and Vanguard, what? own each other, and they decide. And then do with Trump. Trump don't got the authority to pick nothing. I'm gonna have Joby pull up something that real quick. Joby pull up what you on TikTok, Joby? Is that TikTok?
Yeah.
Well, there's a I know TikTokers don't have everything just like YouTube. Pull up say Alan A-L-A-N Alan Greenspan. Alan Greenspan, Greenspan. Alan Greenspan says presidents have no power over the Federal Reserve. He was Federal
Aaron.
Reserve Chairman told the truth.
Aaron or Alan? Aaron.
Alan,
Okay.
A-L-E-N, Alan Greenspan
Okay. Says
says
it.
presidents have no power. Says presidents have no power over the Federal Reserve. And nobody does. He was honest. 25 years ago, he said, ain't no goofy president can tell us what to do. We do what we want to do. Alan Greenspan says presidents have no power over the Fed.
Okay, let me finish this, then share that very quickly.
Okay.
So along with
go
that, I
ahead.
want to put this out because Ripple has confirmed here today, January 12th, 2026, that its stablecoin RLUSD is now being used as collateral by leading financial institutions, including BlackRock. Now, I'm going to link this below, guys. This article came out here today talking about BlackRock uses RLUSD stablecoin for
This is making
collateral
it fake.
as
This is
Ripple
making it
pushes
fake.
institutional adoption.
This is making
Just
it
below,
fake
they write, Ripple's
cryptocurrency
confirmed
crap.
here today on January 12, 2026, that its stablecoin RLUSD is now being used as collateral by leading financial institutions, including BlackRock. This move marks a notable shift in how established firms approach digital assets within existing market infrastructure. Collateral traditionally consists of cash or high quality securities pledged to secure loans or derivative positions. However, by accepting RLUSD, Ripple enables institutions to use a digital asset that moves quickly and settles almost instantly on blockchain networks. Furthermore, they write BlackRock's participation is particularly significant as one of the world's largest asset managers. BlackRock integrating RLUSD into collateral workflows signals rising institutional confidence in regulated stablecoins and their role in the broader financial ecosystem. So, RLUSD, of course, benefits XRP by driving increased activity and liquidity on the XRPL, where every transaction requires XRP for fees that get burnt, while complementing XRP as a stable on-ramp for cross-border payments that often use XRP as an efficient bridge asset for currency conversions. So again, I'm going to link this below if you want to go through and read the entire article, but I did want to make sure that was out on your radar here today, talking about Ripple to confirm here today, January 12, 2026, that the stablecoin RLUSD is being utilized as collateral by that financial institution, along with Trump to interview BlackRock's Rick Ryder for the Fed chair position. Lastly, guys, just for fun, I wanted to show you this. This is the accounts and sum of balance range for a number of accounts there are for specific sums, the amount of XRP that are in these accounts. And you can kind of play with it and take a look at where you're at and where you want to go potentially if you're still looking to accumulate more. But one of the biggest questions I've often got over the years of being in XRP is, how much XRP should I hold? What do I need to get financial freedom? I think what is important to take a look at is the amount of people there are in this world that still don't even know about XRP. And we're talking about less than 1% of the population of the world that actually hold XRP. This is a game-changing cryptocurrency that world leaders, governments, countries, the biggest and best banks in the world have chosen. And this isn't something that I'm speculating on. This is all publicly available information. This is something they've been putting together, Ripple's been putting together infrastructure-wise for well over a decade. And XRP is that cryptocurrency I 100% believe that is going to change the world of finance. All the signal, everything we need to know is right there in front of us. And so when I get asked that question, how much XRP do I need? I always say, one XRP is better than 0 XRP. You've probably heard me say that. But this gives you kind of an idea on accounts out there, the number of accounts there are for specific sums. But keeping in the back of your mind, if this is going to change the world, digital asset XRP, I'm pretty confident that it will. You really don't need as much XRP as you may think. Those are my thoughts, my opinions.
Yeah, so we have that. Let me shift this to this video very quick.
Apply it. I have the ideology because I believe that it is the best way of coming at the world and what type of policy.
What is the proper relationship? What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter. And I've had very...
Yeah, so that's the video Keith has requested, but we've lost him for a minute. But I'm going to shift back to this.
Donald Trump is now interviewing a BlackRock executive to be the next chair of the Federal Reserve, replacing Jerome Powell. He's talking with Rick Ryder, the CIO of BlackRock. And if you don't realize how absolutely insane this is, let me break it down for you. The Fed is supposed to be independent, tasked with keeping inflation and employment stable for regular American people. And now we're talking about handing it over on a silver platter to the biggest private equity firm, BlackRock, responsible for profiting off of housing shortages, market chaos, war, unemployment. This is not draining the swamp. This is a billionaire as our president handing over the keys of the government to more billionaires to decide what's best for all of us. And by the way, it's not going to work. Trump isn't draining the swamp. He's outsourcing it. He's emboldening it. He's making sure that the swamp remains forever. And for those wondering why you feel crushed living paycheck to paycheck, this is exactly why. Billionaires are taking over the government. They have their tentacles in everything. And Donald Trump lied to your face about standing with your working values.
Listen up and pay close attention, because this is how Trump and Venezuela situation is going to make me a millionaire. Make sure you watch this video to the end and save it in case it gets taken down. This right here is
What did it say? Like what?
Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. He's easily one of the biggest investors the world has ever seen. Now guess who this guy's close friend is? Yep, Donald Trump, the president of the United States. But here's where things start to get interesting. BlackRock has been heavily preaching tokenized assets and the technology they're working on with the United States. And they made it very clear that billions of dollars are going to be poured into the sector. Now listen up, because this is the craziest part. I did some digging on the blockchain. I found out that BlackRock just put a new coin in their portfolio, and it's called USOR. I instantly hop on DexScreener, and this is literally the official United States oil reserve coin. And it is sitting at a $3.9 million market cap. It's literally insane because they're not even trying to hide it from us. So I went straight to the X link to the coin. The bio literally says tokenization of the oil applications live February 1st. At that point, connecting the dots was so easy. But here's where it gets scary. Top wallet holding this coin alone is literally called Trump's Team. And it's linked to one of the top coins, Trump, that launched last year. And I think I just discovered the next billion-dollar play. Let's not forget the last time that Trump called out the coin, it literally made over 525 people millionaires in 24 hours. I am personally dropping a bag into this coin at this moment.
That's what's up. But yeah, we have this video you requested, Keith. I'm going to play it one more time then.
Ideology, because I believe that it is the best way of coming at the world and what type of policy.
And President Joe, you guys don't know who Alan Greenspan was. He was the former chairman of the Fed, all right? And they said, well, can the president fire you? And no, can't nobody fire me. But go ahead, Joe, go ahead.
Relationship. What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Exactly.
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So
There's
long
no
as that
there's no
is
government agency that can overrule what they do. You know why? Because the cats with the hats made it that way. Because it's not a federal government. It's all they put the name federal to fool people. It has nothing to do with the federal government. These are the ones printing money from nothing and paying themselves and all this crazy paper. Go ahead, Joe.
in place, and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter. And I've had very
He says nothing you can do anyway.
The Federal Reserve is an
Go ahead. Let me see what they're saying, Joe. Let me see that saying real quick.
independent agency. There is no other
Exactly.
agency of government which can overrule actions that we take.
Former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan said, in the absence of the gold standard, there is no way to protect savings from confiscation through inflation. There is no safe store of value. If there were, the government would make its holding illegal, as was done in the case of gold. The system that left us with is continually taking our wealth from all of us. It is legalized theft. Now, some might feel it more than others, those who are retired, those who are on fixed incomes, right? Whereas some might be trying to outrun it to varying degrees of success. But no matter how much prosperity you have created for yourself, the bottom line is this is going to always be worth less than it is today. Murray Rothbard famously said that every fiat experiment ultimately ends in a machine for the hidden confiscation of wealth. What does he mean by that? He means that wealth doesn't disappear, right? It merely changes hands. As they continue to print more units of currency, each existing one is devalued, is worth less. They have tricked us to believe that currency is money, that inflation is growth, and that debt is wealth. But do not be fooled. Every fiat currency system ends the same way. All fiat currencies have a lifespan, right? And we are living through a currency life cycle with the dollar, and we are entering its final phase. We know this because we study currency resets throughout history. There is one thing that currencies rely on to have value. Do you know what that is? It's confidence. Confidence is really what this is, because it's backed by nothing but full faith and credit of the US government, right? If you took this piece of paper, which is exactly what it is, 1,000 years ago and asked someone what it was worth, they would say nothing, right? I mean, it's worth as much as the piece of paper it's printed on. That is where all fiat currencies eventually end up, their intrinsic value. Zero. Today, confidence in the dollar, confidence in US debt is crumbling. And I don't just mean you and I when we go to the grocery store and see the prices and realize what's going on as more and more people wake up on an individual level. I'm talking about foreign nations, holders and buyers of US debt. They are waking up and realizing there is no plan to ever pay back this debt, right? The plan is inflation. And for decades, the US has gotten away with inflating its debt onto the rest of the world. But the bottom line is any other nation who holds US debt or US dollar denominated assets, they are going to lose real value. Maybe they get paid back nominally, but it will be worth less. And these nations are finally saying enough is enough, because not only are they getting out of the dollar and into a real store of value, physical gold, but they are actively creating a new monetary system, a parallel gold-based system, one that does not rely on the paper promises of the past. Now, this is not a new shift or a new concept. If you've studied currency resets throughout history, you know that every time a reset occurs and a currency is worth less and less, eventually devalued and revalued until it's basically worthless, that is when gold once again becomes the anchor of the system, because trust has been so broken. Again, the one thing backing this is confidence and trust. Once that disappears and you're left with nothing, you have to find something real, something tangible, something that you can trust. And that is where gold comes in. The difference today is that trust and confidence isn't just bound to one nation or one currency. The dollar is the global reserve currency, meaning that all nations are exposed to the dollar. And historically, while many thought, okay, well, that's guaranteed mutual destruction, meaning that no one will ever get rid of the dollar because it would only hurt them, these nations are fed up and they are finding a new way, new technology, new partnerships are allowing these nations to come together and say, we are going to build a new monetary system, one with gold at the center. It's not retail that's driving gold's price up. It is central bank institutional level buying. In fact, October, the most recent data we have, was the largest month on record for 2025 of central bank gold buying purchases. They're not slowing down. They're buying it like it's cheap. Because it is. Because again, remember, you can't just go out and fire up the printing press. You can't push a button on a machine and create more units of gold. Gold is finite. Gold is a true store of value, meaning that if we assume that the monetary system is going to continue to anchor itself to gold, which we know it is, then how high do you really think gold's price is going to go? The dollar is going to continue to lose its value. Gold is going to continue to rise in price. This is why when I say gold is severely undervalued, it's because if you understand the shifts that are happening on the global stage, you know that gold's price is only going to shoot up. It's what we've seen time and time again throughout history and currency resets. The reason this matters to you is that I talk to too many people on a daily basis, people in my real life, who don't understand the concept of making sure you have your physical gold before it's too late. What I mean by that is as the dollar continues to decline in value, as nations move away and ditch the dollar and US treasuries, and we continue to inflate, it doesn't matter what stocks you have. It doesn't matter if you have real estate or crypto or all these different assets, right? At the end of the day, make sure you have your insurance policy in place. You're going to wake up one day and say, I wish I had more gold. That is my wish for everyone out there, is just to make sure you have your insurance, because insurance only works if you have it before the crisis. And if we've learned anything from other currency resets, it's how fast they can happen, right? It starts slowly at first and then suddenly all at once. That is where we are heading.
What is the
Yeah, literally. But let me go to the comments just a little bit as we continue. I see Samuel in the building. Jiba Jaba, karibu sana. And Sunken One, Jason, karibu sana. Shatu, Rashad, Rakim, Rashad Karim, sorry, karibu sana. And Ricky as well. Ricky said yesterday we were talking about silver and gold mines. Caucasian Googles don't listen Africa in 10 mines. Didn't understand the last sentence, but thank you so much for joining. Rashad Karibu Sana says he hasn't seen Black Hot Fire Network live in a while. We have been here, literally subscribe. And then sure you also download our app because we're always live every single day, being live. And Sankinwan Karibu Sana, Jason Karibu once again. I see, and Sankinwan says the creature from Jackie Island. Okay, and Samuel says the time value of money, make use of the dollar while you can, literally. And I also see Jiba says energy costs and everything hinges on it. And Samuel also adding that, and with the midterms on the way, price probably will continue to surge. And another comment also from Jiba Jaba says, is Kruger gonna take gold for eggs? How about the plumber? Means the financial transfer is my question. Well, maybe Kit can help you answer that. But literally as we continue with that literally happening, we also have Americans complaining about literally the economy and currently the current situation. So let me share a couple of videos, then I'll allow Kit to take it literally as we talk about Tucker Carlson as we continue.
Crisis is so bad. People are flexing the fact that they can keep their heaters on from morning till night. Something that the general public should be able to do if they want to is now only done by a selective few people that can afford to keep their heating on for long durations. Like, what have we actually come to?
Due respect, I'll stop calling you a slave if you give the money back. The $45 million you gave to your donor, that your donors gave you.
$45 million?
$45 million in a primary that was uncontested until 5 weeks ago.
No way.
$45 million.
That is how you scare people out of the fucking race. That's simple politics. You raise the most money and be like, hey, can you fucking match this? Rick Scott did it. Bill McCullough, he ran for governor. He may have had $30-40 million in the bank. Rick Scott said, I got $100 million on the side. Let me drop it in my race. Big bank take little bank. What the fuck are you gonna do? You gonna find $45-50 million? Because right now you have the former House Speaker Paul Renner, who used his campaign cash just to be in the know, right? So it wasn't as if he was running uncontested, because he also knew that DeSantis is trying to get at least 3 or 4 people, Casey DeSantis included, to run for governor. So he wasn't just building his war chest to run against nobody. He was building his war chest to say, fuck it, match me. That's what it is.
I wasn't really going to talk about this because it's personal and I don't think people truly care, but I lost my job. And while I'm okay for right now, I'm just thinking about the fact that so many Black women in America have lost their jobs. I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything like that because I hated working there. I hated working for a company that supported a bunch of MAGA. And I put myself in a situation, to be honest with you. However, besides myself, other Black people were let go. But what's most concerning to me is the fact that we're not taking this shit seriously enough. Like, what's happening is very serious, and I don't think we realize how serious it is. The national unemployment rate for America is at 4.6%. The unemployment for Black Americans is at 8.3%. So nearly double. It is double. Teenage unemployment is at 16%, but Black teenage unemployment is at 30%, over double. And I don't think people are truly going to understand until it actually impacts them. And it's coming. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's coming. And it's going to hit right after you spend all this money on the holidays. It's going to hit right when you least suspect it. And I don't think people are heeding to the warnings that they are being given. I pray we turn out for the midterms, because if we don't, we're signing our own death warrants.
In order for Black women to heal in 2026, we have
It's 2026 and the Africans still have the same problem that they had in 2025. It seems that they just don't understand that Black Americans have our own ethnicity.
They're picking up anyone who's brown. They are picking up anyone who is brown. You guys probably saw the video yesterday of the two young men who were arrested at Target. If not, search for it. It's all over the place. They're literally yelling as ICE is pulling them out. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen. Well, there's more video out today.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. I have another video I'm going to share under that about, as we discuss about the Minnesota demonstration, and then we can literally talk about Tucker Carlson. Keith is struggling to pop in, but we shall continue.
After it was confirmed that they were U.S. citizens and they were released, and this boy is broken. I don't know what his physical injuries are, but he is broken and tells about how he was treated while he was in the facility. U.S. citizen, not that it is okay for anyone, not at all. No one should be treated like that, full stop. But they are doing this to U.S. citizens because their skin is brown. Go love your neighbor.
Yes. Okay.
What I need the world to realize is that Americans do not give a shit about you. The majority of Americans don't even know that your country exists. They wouldn't be able to even pick it out on a map. If the United States government decided to yeet your country off of the face of the earth tomorrow, the majority of Americans would not bat an eye. Half the country would support it. The majority of the other half are apathetic to it. The people in this country who actually give a shit about the world are an extreme minority. And so why does the world continue to care about America in this way? Following American trends, adopting these cultural practices that are largely rooted in consumerism, looking up to American celebrities and public figures, this country and its people are nothing to emulate. American consumption habits are literally destroying the world. This country is only 5% of the world's total population, but is responsible for a quarter of the trash that it produces. The parasitic government will destroy countries without batting an eye. And realize Donald Trump is not the first to do this, but the world is a little bit too complacent, just as Americans are. And people are waking up to it, but not enough. This country has done so much to destroy the world, and people are too passive in accepting it. And so the world needs to boycott America, not just regarding consumption, but culturally and socially as well.
Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was going to be up today,
Yeah, so let me move away from that and just shift to this video very quickly as we continue talking about literally the demonstration that happened in Minnesota and what she just mentioned about everyone brown being picked up on.
YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site. And a major news deceiver.
Something was than you, the Illuminati more. Wake up.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Make sure you watch this video in full and share this video. This is an important video if you want to see how social engineering works. People hear the word social engineering and they automatically dismiss it. It's one of those terms that most people don't even know what it actually means. Social engineering at its finest, you are about to witness in regards to the Renee Good situation, the PSYOP that took place in Minnesota. Obviously, we know, those of us who are awake, how problem reaction solution works. That's what the government does. They create the problem, you react to it, they come in with the solution. They are causing all of these protests. Of course, people are watching things on the news thinking they're real when they're not. It blurs their vision of what's reality and what isn't. And we have people who are actually martyring fictional characters in our world, which is the equivalent, like I've said, of martyring the death of a movie character. It would really be the equivalent of people in the streets wearing shirts, crying and protesting after the character Iceman died in the Top Gun movie franchise. So we see the protests taking place across America. Thousands are marching. This is how social engineering works. Renee Good is killed, right? Renee Good is killed. You witness it with your eyes. At least you think you witness truth with your eyes. No difference than watching one of these fake AI videos and thinking it's actually real and having it blow your mind, only to be told by someone like me that, hey, guess what? It was a simulation that you were watching. So right after it occurs, conveniently, Renee Nicole Good merchandise quickly spreads on Amazon and Etsy just hours after the shooting. Of course, have no shame, some of these people. Well, we know it's not people who are individually doing this. We know that it's the government who is actually doing this, and then people do monkey see, monkey do. And that's how social engineering works. The government starts doing this. They start sharing this. They start showing it. The celebrities get involved. And then the people copy. They set up the protest, and then the people show up. The plans at the protests, of course, will destroy buildings, cause violence, go after the police. And that's exactly what the government is doing by design. And they're getting you to participate in these. And the Golden Globes happen to take place this weekend. Of course, nobody really follows these things anymore. Normally, over the years, I've covered the Golden Globes, the Oscars, the Grammys, showed you all of the signs and symbols that these people constantly expose, whether it's through their wardrobes or their speeches or the hand symbols that they give while they're on stage. Well, this is a funny one because this is exactly how social engineering works, because the celebrities are needed to influence the public. They know that the celebrities, that's what their job is. That's what they are. They're CIA assets. They're influencers. So the celebrities show up at the Golden Globes, people like Mark Ruffalo, Wanda Skies, and others, wearing pins that say, "Be good." That's right. Be good. It's the new motto sweeping the nation. It wasn't created by the CIA. No, it just naturally, organically occurred. I'm sure Mark Ruffalo came up with the idea and then gave it to a few of his friends at the Golden Globes. And now we're seeing shirts sold that say "Be good." And we're hearing people repeat the saying "Be good," which is exactly why they chose the name Good, right? Because if be good, right? It's got dual meaning. They want you to be like her and also be a good civilian in this country, or be a good citizen, be a good global citizen, right? It's no different than when they spread Black Lives Matters and they just turned it into a term that's now a normal term in people's day-to-day lives. Everybody knows what Black Lives Matters is. They created it. They kept saying it. They kept doing protests where people were yelling it and screaming it on megaphones. And it's the same thing here with Be Good. And I'm going to show you how this ties into Wag the Dog once again, because this is social engineering, again, at its finest. So Mark Ruffalo on the red carpet wearing the Be Good pin. It's very similar to what I talked about years ago with the Me Too movement. They created the Me Too movement. Conveniently, all of these celebrities started outing themselves. They started backing down. They didn't, people were coming out with claims that 60 years ago, that they hit on somebody on a movie set and sexually harassed them. And of course, they were shamed out of Hollywood and had to retire. People like Matt Lauer, all of these people, I've covered them over the last couple of years, all of course doing what they're told from their handlers, which they still get paid. They still live out their lives, they don't have to work anymore. And they're told to do this because they're trying to influence your behavior by stepping down and saying, oh, you can't say this to a woman. You can't tell a woman she's beautiful. That's harassment. They're starting to engineer your behavior. And that was part of the Me Too movement. So Ruffalo is just another Illuminati goon. Here you see him doing the all-seeing eye symbolism, right? Somebody was doing a photo shoot. He just happened to have an ace of spades in his pocket, even though this has nothing to do with him. What does Mark Ruffalo have to do with playing cards? Is he a poker player? No. And he just holds it up over one of his eyes. Or here he is just holding up his hand over his eye. Was he catching a bug? Did he want to slap himself in the eye? Was there something going on here, Mark? Or are you just doing the code, of course, that we know that everyone in Hollywood and the music industry do, and everyone who's in this gang, which is really just a giant cabal, of course, who all worship Lucifer, the all-seeing eye that we see on the back of the dollar bill. Let me start here, okay? This is Mark Ruffalo on the red carpet, engineering the public. Look at the acting. I mean, the acting is just, we're supposed to believe he starts talking about people who don't have money, who can't afford health insurance. Well, Mark, give them your salary. Sign right up. I mean, you're such a good person. You make millions of dollars per film. Why don't you start helping all these people who are less fortunate? Start talking about the less fortunate and health insurance, how we can't afford to live. Of course, preparing people for what comes in, the solution, right? Problem, reaction, and the solution, of course, which is AI governance that they're going to bring in, which is universal basic income. This is all New World Order enslavement crap. But listen to this, how he's acting on the red carpet. He can't enjoy the Golden Globes this year because he's mourning Renee Good's death. Give me a break.
Joined now by Mark Ruffalo, who is a nominee tonight, and his wife, Sunny. And I want to ask you right off the bat, how much fun is it in that room? Sitting there, you have a couple cocktails, you hang out with everybody, and there's all kinds of conversations going on.
It's usually a lot of fun, but I can't really, I got to be honest with you, I'm not feeling so great. We have a woman, Renee Good, was murdered in the streets of America today, and we got literally stormtroopers running around terrorizing. And
exactly what they are.
I don't know if I can pretend like this crazy stuff isn't happening. We have a president who says the laws of the world don't apply to him, and we could rely on his morality, but he has no morality. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave the world? So I love these people. I love being here. I love you. But I also can't. It's so hard to pretend anymore. This is crazy what's happening.
I have to ask you because I have family from the Twin Cities, so I understand how hard that is right now. Well, lots of people are hurting right now, and that's the problem, is that the people are hurting.
Yeah. And people can't pay their rent. This isn't making us any safer. They can't pay their rent. They can't buy food. Insurance is impossible. They can't take care of their families and health. There's no education. I mean, this is not making America better. If it was, I'd be, great, let's do it. But that's not what's happening. And we have Americans being shot, killed, a woman in her car.
So if you're somebody who believes that was actually genuine and real, then you probably believe that elves are actually real, and you probably think
this is who they are. They don't care. But see, I don't care about it because I don't care, because they don't never give a damn when they shoot innocent black people. So that ain't my fight. But see, that's how savage these people are. Like, does anybody believe he cares about killing? Because white supremacy is over everything. The death, that's why they don't never stop gun violence. Because white supremacy comes first to everything. You understand with these people? You don't care about that white broad getting shot in the head. White supremacy comes first for them. And I told you, black people, all black people understand that their power of being on top comes first. They know what they did. That lady was criminal. They don't care. Their white power comes first. She's a sacrificial lamb on the altar of white supremacy. That's what she is. So what? We got other white people. so let me say, does anybody really care? He's not concerned that the lady died. She has children. What does he care? That's why Joey said they have any humanity. No, they don't. No, they don't. So always understand. They'll never get sad about shooting you in the head. They only talk about because you're white. But go ahead, Joey.
Or that, again, me and the Easter Bunny, you're going to play Tiddlywinks tonight, right? I mean, give me a break. That's some of the worst acting we've ever seen. Who else was participating? Well, many of the celebrities were wearing Be Good pins. Of course, we had Ariana Grande, who was wearing an Ice Out pin. That was the other choice at the Golden Globes, of course, getting people riled up. Everybody's tweeting online. Everybody's being socially engineered into this. They want the pin. That's their favorite celebrity. Ariana Grande, one of the most popular people in America, somehow, some way. And nobody knows. Of course, we've seen Ariana Grande, who has been groomed since childhood, gone through Nickelodeon, much like Disney. These children are groomed at a young age. And then what happens is young children watch these, shows on Disney and Nickelodeon of the young children who are acting like adults and in school and dating. They're being engineered. And then they follow them as they grow up. They're still fans of them. And then they watch as they change and they become more sexual. They
claim both sides of the argument because they're controlled by the same people. His phony ass and they phony ass with all this goofy Hollywood control shit. They control both sides of the argument.
And that's social engineering. So here's Ariana Grande doing the all-seeing eye over and over again, even holding up a cookie over her eye with the upside-down pentagram. I'm sure that's just a coincidence, right?
Now understand that that's them inverting everything. That's our spiritual. So everything comes from African people. The pineal gland is the third eye, which we know, which is actually sacred, right? They say now it's demonic because their pineal glands are what are calcified, right? This is the interdimensional. That's where your soul sits. They tell you where your soul sits in your body is demonic. They take everything we've done and they invert it, try to make it evil and wicked, right? They invert it. That's the third eye. All-seeing eye is your third eye, your pineal gland, where your soul sits in this fake body. That's where the illusion. That's where your real soul sits in this illusion. But they invert all our teaching. Oh, now it's evil. It's the third eye. It's wicked. It's blah, blah, blah. No, because you people are wicked. You take everything that's good and wholesome, what it is, and you invert it. You invert it like everything else you do. Run around. These morons are running around making sheep so they can fuck them in the butt. You guys know about that? I said that. I'll make Joby share that. I ain't Joby even seen it. I sent it to her. Go ahead, Joby.
Or she was just in her home and she was baking cookies that were stars, pentagrams. And someone said, let me take a picture. And he said, let me hold it upside down over my eye. Right? Yeah, I'm sure. Of course, she has the monarch butterfly tattooed right on her arm, which again, this is a marking. This is no different than having your own personal barcode or being branded like cattle. Most of these celebrities have the tattoos on their body who are obviously victims of monarch programming. They have the butterfly on them. So there's Ariana. Of course, Ariana, again, constantly one of the celebrities that always is wearing rabbit ears. Nobody says, why are they wearing rabbit ears? I've broken this down many times. I have videos on the website for anyone out there that isn't familiar with the rabbit ears and that compound, which of course is red liquid that they all like to consume. Even Ariana Grande wearing
red liquid is what adrenochrome he's talking about. Talking about the blood of children, usually black girls is the best. That's the you really want young black African girls, or then young black African boys if you can't get that stuff. It's called adrenochrome.
Taking these pictures, putting it on her Instagram account with, I believe his name was Mac Miller, who conveniently died at a young age shortly thereafter. And you can see her looking to perform cannibalism on him as there's blood all over his chest while wearing those ears. So that pretty much sums up what those ears represent. The only difference is that Mac Miller isn't a little child, right? And we also had Ariana Grande with two other devil worshippers, Miley Cyrus, the Virus, and Lana Del Rey, obviously paying homage to the fallen angels. And we saw Ariana Grande with God is a woman, of course, mocking our Father in heaven, where the Bible clearly states that God is
He's talking about the fake Bible. And you know that God is no man. You know that. But see, they're crazy. That's how you know they're crazy. The creator universe guy is not a man. There's no man in the cloud. It's nothing but energy, female, masculine energy. Mostly female. The female brain is bigger. Females are the first. So it wouldn't be no mask. It says it in our goofy Bible that we took from Kemet and other people wrote when we were still savages in caves and couldn't read or write. That's what it says that in there. Talking about. Go ahead.
father, which would mean that God is a man. But this is the engineering on the youth out there that we see from celebrities like Grande, celebrities like Mark Ruffalo. So I want to show you this clip because this is a perfect example, right? Everything with Renee Good. You saw the event that they put out on television. Again, it's an event. It's fictional. It's created, whether it's AI or in cases, some cases it's AI. Some cases they have actors carry it out. The AI is so good that the government has that we don't know about, that DARPA has, created. We couldn't even imagine what they're capable of faking at this point. But nonetheless, they show us this. People believe it's real. Then people react. They see the protests. They go and show up. Then they start seeing merchandise. They want to buy a shirt. They want to hold signs up with her face. We saw people painting pictures of her in the street, even though they had no paint on their paintbrush. And it's the same thing as Wag the Dog. Again, if you haven't seen Wag the Dog, it's the same thing. They show you how they fix the news is fiction and what they need to do to distract the masses, to keep the masses under mind control. And this is a carbon copy. Renee Nicole Good, a copy of Sergeant William Schumann, a fictional character in the movie Wag the Dog. Woody Harrelson's character is actually a criminal, but they use him because he used to serve in the military. They use him as the fictional character they need to create. They need to create a fictional character around their fictional war. They create a fictional war in the movie to distract the people from the election. Of course, we know the election isn't real anyway, but this was Big Brother revealing themselves to the world back in the 90s of how the news actually operates. And of course, since then, they've made up phrases like fake news to make you think that when the phrase fake news is being said, it's about, oh, it's fake news because CNN doesn't like Donald Trump and I like Donald Trump, so it's fake news, right? Fake news really should be talked about in regards to the news being a simulation and being scripted and being acted out and then being told to you that it's actually real. So the character Woody Harrelson plays, they need to come up with, because in their fake war, they need a fake hero, and his last name is Schumann. And this scene I'll show you momentarily will show you how they come up with the character, they come up with a name, they come up with a catchy song, and how they brainwash the nation into thinking that this guy is an actual war hero. And again, Woody Harrelson's buddies with Mark Ruffalo. I'm sure that's a coincidence as well. They're in movies together about magic, How You See Me, a movie I've exposed in the past. You can see Woody Harrelson doing the all-seeing eye, just like Mark, right? That's the thing they have in common, right? They like to hold things over their eye. Here's Woody doing the triangle of power, the pyramid with his hands, and also doing the hidden hand.
Remember the pyramid? This is how they get Africans scared of your own sign. Pyramid is not evil. C and I is not evil. That's how African science actually means something. But they try to invert it and tell you it's evil, like this moron. It's all spiritual, right? Since they're not spiritual beings, everything they take is they invert it. The all-seeing eye is your pineal gland, right? The seat of your soul, raises your vibration, helps you become the Christ. They tell you it's evil. They want to talk about, so they took your teachings and made some fake man, some fake white man in a dirty robe, talking about he's Christ, right? Some make-believe cracker walking around in a stinking ass robe, walking around the Middle East or some shit, which is Northeast Africa. Had nothing to do with it. Your pineal gland regulates your vibration. Once you raise your vibration, you become the Christ. That's what it's about. They've taken all your teachers and inverted them. Got you scared to be African. Like this moron. Like, you're going to listen to this caveman trying to teach you about some spirituality, and he just told you about his God. So his God just said it's okay to shoot a woman in the head. You see how fake? You see how they can't even be righteous? He's giving God is a man and both righteous, how evil they are. And he just justified a woman getting shot in the head. I want you how crazy and psychopath. There's nothing righteous about it. It's only to push his own argument. He just said, oh, it's about our God, and this is wrong. Look at the evil they doing. But in the same breath, he just told you, fuck that lady got shot in the head. Fuck her. His man God said, fuck that lady. You got shot in the head. Fuck her. Right? And he trying to teach you about what's right and wrong. You understand? I'm telling you, these psychopaths. Go ahead, Joe. His coat, of course, just like Mark Ruffalo, I'm sure that's what they have in common, right? They like to put their hands over their eyes, and they like to put their hands in their coat when they're doing photo shoots for, major magazines like GQ or the Hollywood Reporter. So
This is the clip I'm going to play for you where they're coming up with the character that Woody Harrelson's playing, just like Renee Good. And they're coming up with a catchy name, a name that rolls off the tongue, right? So his last name's Schumann, but they call him the Shoe. They give you a fictional story about how he's captured behind enemy lines and he's Morse coding to his mom, all pre-written in advance and then carried out through the media, which is exactly what you see in today's world. Does this look similar to you?
Johnny? Yeah, what is it? The war is over, okay? Now we're going to need a new song. I think it should be a song about a shoe, a shiny shoe, a black patent shoe, a good old shoe.
I was just on my way to get drunk.
Yes, you get drunk, John, but I need a new song, okay? A good old shoe song. It should be a ballad of loss and you want to help me? Redemption. Loss and redemption is very, very good.
Anybody here know Morse code?
What are you going to do with Morse code? New facts.
Sergeant William Schumann, U.S. Army, serial number 21312841262.
Good old shoe. Here's the deal.
Good old shoe. Good old shoe.
Behind it. Make it sound old and scratchy.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna dwell much on that.
Yeah.
Literally, you got the point. Literally, so I'm gonna let you, Kate, take over with Tucker Carlson. Literally from there, we can.
Yeah, well, okay, well, Tucker Carlson, how Joe would cue that up again, what Tucker was saying. So the FBA morons are feeling defensive because they know a racist ass Tucker Carlson called them out and he agrees with their stance, right? And they're trying to distance themselves from Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson is a known white supremacist, right? A known OG fade, original gangster fade, right? He's an OG fade, as Joey knows what the word now means. He's original OG fade, right? Old fade cracker, right? So they're getting a tizzy that people calling them out because everything they talk about is he's getting FBA morons. I mean, these are idiots. I told you. They call themselves FBA. Foundational Black Americans, but they say they're Indians. Why? Why don't you make it FIA? Foundational Indian Americans, whatever. Why are you the FBA? And this is the anti-black movement. We understand that the bootleg Africans and the bootleg Caribbeans had to get some straightening out, but you don't weaken yourself. Because as you show speed over in Africa, getting the love that you have family there, and we're better united. And they love to put these fake phonies. Love to go put Dr. John Henry Clark in their mouth, or Khalid Muhammad in their mouth, who would have had nothing to do with these charlatans, nothing to do with their ass. You think Khalid Muhammad would have run back calling himself an FBA and talking crazy about other black people on the planet? You think Dr. John Henry Clark? They love to mention Dr. John Henry Clark because that's association. They're trying to associate Dr. John Henry Clark's legacy with their goofy cult. That's association. Dr. John Henry Clark will have nothing to do with these goofy Negroes talking about they're delineating from Africa and African people. Whether they found them in Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad, Kenya, Ghana, wherever. He looked at you in your face and laughed. So they're trying to hijack Dr. John Henry Clark's teachings and revert them to their goofy cult. And Dr. Khalid Muhammad, who was all pro-black. They want to call themselves pro-black, but they against other black people. How's that work? And I told you, goofy FBA niggas, stay off my damn TikTok feed, morons. Because whenever I start breaking your back, you start crying. Why are you talking about us? You know what? Shut up. Stay off my feed, then. You're an intellectual moron. Now come in and break your back, you start crying. Because I told you, most of you Negroes ain't never been outside your damn county, let alone your city. You're morons. And so you got all this hate, supposedly because you had a bad dealing with one African or one Caribbean. Is that supposed to be the whole group of people? Okay? You see me go after the Caribbeans, you see me go after the Africans. But I'm not about delineating from, I said we got to put some act right on them. Cool. All right? I agree with that. But you don't delineate from your power base. Don't make any sense. See, as they're falling apart, they want to cause delineation between you. Why don't the Australian white people delineate from the American whites? Or the white people in Britain are delineating from the Canadian whites? Because they don't do that because they know their power is in their numbers. So, like I said, with your groupie FBA Negroes, you can't never show me no school you built. You can't never show me no hospital you built. You can't show me nothing you done. So what's the benefits of calling us up this goofy FBA? You tell me about reparations, but none of you have put in any kind of serious reparation claim in the to the government. You're just a bunch of low-budget Negroes screaming and hollering on the internet. You created no organization for your redress. Since this is a government function, you must put organizations to address the redress that you're asking for. Yeah, just saying, Tariq Nasheed doesn't want any that's all a con game for you morons. That's why he's never put forth no organization creator. I'm not no leader. I'm not a leader. I'm not a leader. Right? The one that told you about FBA, the married to a non-FBA woman, these are facts, and got non-FBA kids. These are facts. But you morons won't even question that. Right? The leader of your phone, and that's how you know this is a grift. And it's got to be some. And remember, the government never takes them down for talking crazy. We get taken down everywhere. If you don't know, our Instagram account is gone. Facebook account is gone. I don't even be on that shit. But we're a threat to real power. If you're a threat, you're gone. So that means their message helps white power. The threat to nobody. You know, you got them. That's why they all keep them the FBA, this FBA, that they keep naming this goofy ass movement. Is that the majority of black people with it, and we're not. Shout out to black people on TikTok. Shut up, trying to call everybody that FBA shit. We didn't sign up to your goofy fucking cult. I'm trying to call us all the same fucking goofy FBA shit. About some grifter ass Negro. You didn't ask, hey, what's Tariq Nasheed's real name? I'm gonna ask all you goofy FBA Negroes who come into my TikTok, because I'm not on Twitter. They took that channel down too. They took down the Twitter or X, whatever you call that goofy shit. I'm not on that shit for over a year and a half. Right? So all you Negroes come in my TikTok feed get butthurt when I break your back. Okay? So tell me, what is your leaders? He said you're not your leader. He came up with that goofy shit. Right? He's the one talking all this hate. When people ask him, well, what's the hate? Can we work it out? See, if you are legitimate, you would say, okay, there are concerns and things have been done. The Africans and the damn Caribbean have been disrespectful. I told you that. People skimming it and say, well, I'm beating up on them. Why are you beating up on people, Keith? I address the disrespect. But even though I address the disrespect, I don't tell you not to stop. Joby's African. I'm going to get rid of my whole staff. What are you talking about? You go over there, they show you love, and you show them love. And sorry, I show Speed and Showy. They don't got no contract to love this kid. But that's what they're doing. Right? That's what making it, and you see all these TikTok, those are on TikTok, you guys see, all these goofy FBAs are trying to get mad at Speed, but just living his life and showing the love between African people. They're all mad. Oh, what is this Speed doing? It ain't got nothing to do with us. These FBAs just want to be hateful. There's some fringe, xenophobic, moronic group. You ever listen to them? They're all stupid as shit. They're all stupid. They're like remedial. Tariq's balls are all like really stupid. They're all remedial. Logic and critical thinking don't work. They're like all remedial. Except when you get like the Jason Blacks, because they're gripped, they signed over truth. They can't let them go now because He's scared they'll roast his ass because they took half his audience to help their fucking numbers grow. That's what these grifting con men do. So when Professor Black Phony and Jason Black, these two phony niggas, signed on with Tariq years ago, they got to stay there or you'll call their ass out. So they got to support all the crazy antics that he comes up with, but they'll never get none of the damn money from when he's on the grifted. Man, I need money. We need got a new movie, FBA movie, and blah blah blah. So right. So your leader's the dude without no damn FBA. This FBA thing means that much to him, but he didn't marry an FBA. Well, I told you, you are who you marry. That's your number one thing. I've only been with black women, so you can't put me. You can't find no picture of me with no white woman. They'll drug the internet. You'll never find it. If you do find it, you'll look at it good, and then take it. You know it's doctored. You know it's doctored out. You are who you marry. He's claiming this FBA shit, but he don't marry an FBA woman, huh? He married a whole white woman's child, but he's talking this FBA shit to you because he knows you're stupid. He knows you morons are dumb as fuck. He married a whole white woman's child. He's screaming that because remember, 10 years ago he wasn't talking that FBA shit. Because that wasn't proper. He was talking about the African. Oh, I'm going to Africa. Remember, he went to Zimbabwe, South Africa, all that, because they were buying his goofy DVDs. They were buying them goofy Hidden Colors DVDs. When that hustle dried up, he needed a new one. So he hijacked that dumbass ADOS movement with that goofy broad and that goofy fake lawyer from LA. What's that dude's name? Antonio, the big lip dude. Antonio Moore, this moron. If you guys ever let this idiot do a case for you, you guys have no idea. You have no idea how many bad lawyers you got. That's why you never seen that. See, if he was a good lawyer, he wouldn't be on YouTube talking about ADOS. So what the Sheik did, I told you guys this 6 years ago, we had this conversation. He hijacked the ADOS movement because he seen it was picking up ground and they were gripping and making money from it. So he wanted to fracture. Like, yeah, man, I'm with this ADOS thing. I'm with this ADOS. And the previous year, talking about Hidden Colors and Africa this and Africa that. Because remember, these two goofy morons are anti-African, these ADOS movement. This half-white woman. And but another half-white woman. Yvette Cornell's a half-white woman. Talking about she hate Africans and we're closer to Europeans in America, the ones who beat, raped, murdered, killed us. That's what this goofy half-breed said. This ADOS moron. We're closer. We're not closer to African people. You're not. You're not, because you're a mixed breed. I told you, never let these mulattoes into your spaces without checking their paperwork. She would say, oh, we got nothing to do with African people. Fuck African people. We're closer to white people. Talking about her white mama, the white coochie she came out of. Right? Telling you about how she ADOS. She mixed. Her family was part of the damn plantation owners. Half her family were plantation owners, raping, beating, killing, murdering. I told you about these goofy movements. You better check people's paperwork. Some mulatto telling you about some damn reparation where half her family was a plantation owners. What? But black people too, you've been dumbed down. So he said, hey man, these two goofy niggas, these all goofy, they making money. Let me revert the energy to something called FBAs, okay? Then have some fake fight with them and try to steal the whole movement, right? And neither one of these goofy Negroes are qualified. He's married to a non-FBA woman, got non-FBA kids. She's whole family is non-FBA. Can you make it make sense? Can you help me out? I mean, and the ADOS, her whole family, half her family's not ADOS. She's a mixed lady. Right? Half her family with a plant. If you go back and check Yvette Cornell's paperwork, you'll find all kind of slave masters in the closet. Go back and do her damn DNA, her genealogy. It'd be all kind of slave masters. You open up the closet, slave masters just fall out the closet on your ass. And so that's why you know this is a psyop. Since Africa's rising and Europe, you can't sit your own eyes, Europe and America is falling. I told you, history is cyclical, not linear. White people thought they always gonna be on top because they stole the world. They thought history is linear. Everything in nature shows you that what? You live in cycles of time. That's why you have winter, right? Fall, winter, spring, summer, and it repeats. It's cyclical. So their time is coming to an end. It's cyclical. So it's gonna be the rise of the African. So they need that division because they want to hold on to power at any cost. That's why the guys talking about, yeah, who cares about they shooting that broad in the head? Fuck her. Fuck her. They gonna be sad for some white woman get shot in the head. Fuck her. Because it's about their power. Him or anything to stop his power. Think about his white woman getting shot in the head. They'll make another white woman. Shit. What are your comments, girl? Give me my hammer.
Okay. Let me go to the comments very quickly. Earlier we had Jibba saying that okay, this TUCKER FBA stuff is some diversionary tactics. Also see, and Sankinon says Jackie Island is where the U.S. titans of industry.
Yeah, create the Federal Reserve.
And Rockefeller and all that. Okay. And see, Jiba says it's completely sidelines Candice Owens from the conversation, and when your man kicks you out, the attitude will change. Then I'm okay now. Okay. Understand that. But I also see John Mosquito Karibu Sana says, Ricky says all these people are nothing but clones. And I also see
YouTube.
Samuel says, do you want free healthcare and free education? Not if the black gets it too. That is, of course, what,
yeah.
you know.
What are we saying that black people get it? No, we don't want it. Because remember, this is how wicked evil they are. We said so many times. They said if we don't give black people free healthcare, they eventually die. You imagine how wicked and evil you are. The reason why America doesn't have free healthcare like Canada, Australia, England, and France, all these other countries, because of black people. They said we don't want black people to get it, and so we rather not get it ourselves so they can die, so they can die off, so they won't have any money to go to the hospital and they'll just die. Can you imagine this? And this is a fact. It's not even made up. That's why I told you every story there's a villain. Every story there's a damn villain. But go ahead, Joker.
And Sankino says, I keep forgetting to watch the dog. I'm watching it today.
Watch the who?
Wag the dog. Wag the dog.
Oh, Wag the Dog, that old movie? Yeah, they just showed you how they always tell you the truth in a movie of how all the news is fake. How they make fake wars. Yeah, that movie came out like, damn. I think 1 year before Joey was born. That movie came out in 1997, I think. I think it was 97. 96, I'm pretty sure it was 97. Wag the Dog. They just showed you how they make fake wars and shit. Got people like, oh my God, it's all fake.
And then also see, Jason says right about that Ricky Snow, especially Jeffrey Epstein, which is Thomas Jefferson clone from the $20 bill. Okay. Yeah. And then
and look at, we're gonna say double ganger, so we know. I'm gonna have Joey pull that up again on Google. Maybe on YouTube or TikTok. Where they got all these double gangers from the past. Exactly. You know they're not. You know they're not. They know those are the same people. So there's something behind the scenes that made these people and their clones. You know, you got Keanu Reeves years ago. You got Jay-Z years ago. Exactly the same thing, right? because these things are created. Right? Same people. You got Matthew McConaughey 100 years ago. Same got Leonardo DiCaprio 200 years ago. You got Ellen DeGeneres. Yes. So what? How can that be? How can that? I mean, the exact same person. How can that be? They just remanufacture your ass. Put the same energy back in you, bring you back down, and have you do some other shit. You know, they're controlled by something that you can't see. And it's called the demiurge or Yaldabaoth, whatever you want to call it. Or in the Bible, where they change that, the devil. Okay? The devil is the God that Jehovah has. That wicked motherfucker. No, because you went around screaming, worshiping and shit. Jehovah wicked ass.
John Mosquito says, no kid, the FBAs are separate from the Indians. And Jibba Jabba says, Umar is cool.
They say the name because they fraction Jim Mosquito, because a lot of FBA say, man, we're not no Indian. You people talking crazy. And the Indian nigga, oh, we Indian. You better get off that black American shit. We're an Indian. So they can't even be, their whole group is incohesive because it's, see, you can't make a group staffed by morons.
And I also see just a minute. KW Don Karibu once again. I think I said Karibu. Says Umar not down with the FBA. Charles Karibu Sana says, does anyone believe Dr. Umar would accept a Rick Nasheed white mother-in-law? I think that's what you meant. And Ricky says, you're saying what my grandfather.
He called him. Go, Jim. Sorry, go ahead.
Says, you're saying what my grandfather, I think, said in 18. He told me a lie. You guys comment sometimes. I'm not gonna be reading comments. Listen, I'm not gonna be reading comments of sentences. I promise you. I really promise you. Because you guys have a hard time trying to construct your own sentence. Like, are you crazy? It's my job, yes, but please.
Oh, you guys pissing Joby off with your ebonics.
Mr. Joe was supposed to say his FBA argued all night with the African nigger called Uncle Moose. Okay. And
I missed it. Was it funny, Joe? I missed it.
What kind of African calls themselves Uncle Moose? I'm literally hearing it from you. Chachi Robin S. Karibu Sana. Nice to see you
know the nickname, Joby.
I think these arguments are staged. Put your chin.
They are staged. They are staged, Robin. They are staged. Go ahead, Joe.
KW Don says Yvette Cannell is engaged and or involved with a white woman. John Mosquito says,
I know that. And that's exactly. She was the so she went around licking white coochie, right? And she went around licking white coochie. You know, shout out to her, hey, do your thing. We got to say that now. You just, hey, do your thing. We have no problem with you licking coochie. Hey, we ain't got no problem with that. You know, you licking coochie. Hey, hey, it is what it is, right? So you got a mix. So you're a mixed breed. This is how crazy black people are. Just retarded. You got a mixed breed licking white coochie, a full white woman, right? Trying to tell you there ain't other black people. What? Can you make it make sense? And you got the self-hate ugly lawyer because he ugly. So he was all, women will never give him no play. You go tell a dude that's got a lot of anger towards black people, it's only because they can never get no coochie. It's always as simple as that. There's always some weird vibe you get with him. So you see, he's not a good lawyer. Nobody's gonna hire him to be their lawyer. And he's ugly. So those are combinations that make you angry. We're not close to Africans. Fuck these Africans, right? And he's sitting there just as black and African looking as can be. He said, fuck these Africans. We're not Africans. Sitting there looking like a whole new version of Kunta Kinte. Sitting there just as black and African phenotype as he want to be. Talking about he's not an African, right? He got that much self-hate. But when he look in the mirror, he said, damn sure look like an African. Shit. right? And you got his partner in crime. She's a half-white woman licking on a whole. Let's check that. Yvette Cornell is a half-white woman licking and munching on a whole white woman. Tell you to hate Africans. She's a half-white woman licking and munching on a whole white woman. Tell you to hate Africans. Make it make sense, man. And you got another moron, Tariq. He got a half white woman. Talking about he loves FBA and he's an FBA. He's got a half white woman, right? And a Haitian. She's not even an FBA at all. Her mama's white and her daddy's Haitian. So this man tells you to hate other people, especially islanders like Haiti. His damn woman is a half white Haitian woman, and his kids, and none of them are FBAs. But when you point that out to his ass, he gets to looking crazy and hang up on you guys because he knows you're stupid. There's another grift. They never want to mention just the obvious. Oh, you're talking all this FBA shit, and nobody in your immediate family are FBA. And we can't check your paperwork, Tariq. Where you from? That ain't your name. And you just made up Tariq Nasheed. Now, you ain't no Muslim. Why you got a fake Muslim name? Huh? You're not a Muslim. Oh, you get this fake Muslim name. This common question, what is your real name, dude? We need to know your history. Remember, he tell you to check everybody's background. I believe check your paperwork. Let's check your paperwork. Where are you from? Who are you? Who are your parents? I told you guys years ago, I believe Tariq is an island nigga. I don't believe it's one. I don't believe it's his own fake made up FBI. I don't believe that one bit. You know, I don't believe that at all. I don't believe Tariq's family goes back to the damn plantations like us do. I don't believe he does. I believe Tariq is a fake island Negro. That's why he met that island, bro. I believe he's an island nigga. Prove me wrong. They not, you know what they gonna ask him? He gonna try. All you gotta do is prove it. I can prove I go back to the plantations. Prove you go back to the plantations, Tariq. I bet it's all kind of island shit. His sister is married to some island Puerto Rican. Whole family's full of mixed up shit. So he don't got no FBA lineage in none of his family. He's talking this FBA shit to you people. This shit's crazy. I don't believe Tariq's lineage goes back to no plantation at all. At all. That's why he won't show you goofy niggas his lineage. Only show you guys his lineage. Why is his lineage a secret? Huh? He said you FBA this and Africans stink. Africans are dummy stink. He's eating bush meat. Africans eating bush meat. Everybody Africans eating bush meat. They bush meat eating bastard. They're musty. They're musty. You musty tether. You're musty. You musty tether. You musty bush meat eating tether. Right? Where's his paperwork at? I want you FBI, when you guys come my thing again, I'm gonna do some videos this week, some beyond this week, I want you guys to come in my comment section, and I'm gonna ask one of you morons to go to. He's got a TikTok channel, and he's always on TikTok now. That's where he's at. TikTok every day. TikTok around the clock. So when you're on his TikTok page, channel, whatever you call it, I want one of you morons to ask Tariq for his paperwork. I want you to ask him for his paperwork. And I bet you he's going to hang up on you, say, you're babbling, and cut you off. So why is that a hard thing to do? You know, you screaming that you can trace your people back to the slavery plantations of America. Okay, show us. What's your real name? He ain't told none of you Negroes' real name. My real name is Keith Newsom. Look that up. Okay? I go by Mr. Black Eye Five, but Mr. Black Eye Five is a nickname. His name ain't no Tariq Nasheed. We know that. We know his name is Marcus something. Marcus Sanders, Marcus Thomas. Everybody, shout out to keyboard musician. I ain't seen that brother in a minute. Who went back and researched this con, man. So, you know, yeah, it's like, why would a non-Muslim make up a fake Muslim name? Tariq is linked in with them folks. That's why his channel can never get taken down. He gets to talk crazy about black people. Ain't no shit happened to his ass. And none of his fake ass three horsemen of the apocalypse. Jason Black, stupid ass, who run up and down the road trying to teach you about women. Remember, he wanted to be the fake Kevin Samuels, trying to teach you about women. This the dude going 2,000 miles to get coochie from a single mom with 5 kids, but telling you something on his goofy, what's that shit called? Business. He never talk about no business. It's always about black women all fucked up. Black women fucked up. Black women fucked up. Black women fucked up. Black women fucked up. This about the fuck. He trying to tell you power dynamics from a moron. I told you that's why psychology is important. I psychologically evaluate that ass. I told you guys years ago because it's a phony. This is the dude that got kicked in the head in the sandbox as a child. He's overcompensating for something. You don't hate black women for no reason. It means you never got any attention from these black women, and you're angry. You're angry with them because they never want to have no dealings with your ass. So it turns you angry. Whenever somebody angry, always trying to beat up on women, especially black women, that means they've been rejected over and over again. The coochie's been turned off, and they're angry. Ah, you no good bitches. Always some crazy, out of line shit going on. So we found out with Jason Coon black ass is supposed to black authority about black people, but they all tell you to hate Africans and Caribbeans, right? Hate them. I don't tell you to hate them. I tell you to put some act right on their ass. You say, hey, you come in there with some respect. You put some respect on our name. You keep our name out your filthy mouth if you can't respect us. I'm not trying to hate no African people. Why would I do that? That's stupid. So, and you'll call yourself pro-black, but you hate all other African people. It doesn't make any sense. Pro-black with what? You got no power here in America. You notice all these goofy Negroes been online, made longer than me. What have they built? Tariq supposed to build some goofy comedy club. That's a fake museum or whatever that goofy shit is. Right? Got comedy. He be on TikTok. Yeah, come on out. We're going to have comedy at a museum. They have comedy because he's got to make money somehow. We got to make money somehow. Right? But we gripped it. All on TikTok now asking for money. It's crazy. Remember, he told you TikTok wasn't no good. But he brought his ass over because that was the #1 platform in the world. I got to get my ass to TikTok. This other money drying up. People know my scam, my grift. I done made about 500 goofy movies begging people to give me money for my goofy movie. So to him, it's on to the next script, to the next script, to the next script. And sadly, we have a bunch of uneducated people in Black America who can't see that this is division. As Robin said, this is fake division. It's fake. But due to algorithms, they get the biggest voice on social media when they are small. They try to like they're a big group. If I stop right now and ask them, I'm in Alabama, hey man, hey, you know what the FBA is? What the hell is that? Look at me crazy. They're a small fringe group on the internet that the algorithm, that white power, pushes up in front of you to make them bigger than they're not, to cause this division between people globally. And there shouldn't be no division. That's why I told you what I Show Speed was doing was so important. Shout out everybody realize this. I said he's young. He didn't realize what he's doing. He breaking down the propaganda as opposed to I hate you, you hate me nonsense. And you see the similarities and some of the differences, cultural differences that we had, and a lot of similarities that we have. See, that's priceless. No one wants to see that. Go, Joe.
Closer to winding up, I see also Ricky says, I told you a million times I don't follow Pan-African FBA or any other alphabet.
I know you. I never said you did, Ricky. I never. Ricky, don't try to throw me on the bus. I never said you did, Rick. I never did. I never said you did. With your pretending ass.
They say Nelly Fuller, Junior's Code is the leader, but trash Africans and Caribbeans. That's against the.
Exactly against this code. They always remember because they thrown all these people on the bus. Nelly Fuller didn't know these people. Remember, Nelly Fuller said, "Do you know Tariq?" Then she said, "I don't know him." I heard, he's dead now. People say, I don't know him. I heard he's been using a lot of my talking points, but he ain't never reached out to me. Right? Exactly. They're going against their code that they always touted. Remember, they always would quote Neely Fuller. And so they always come about the code, what? They're all up their own fake, goofy code. They would try to tell Africans and Caribbeans to get on code with other black people. That you're not supposed to fight within the family. You're supposed to work it out behind closed doors, but don't fight in front of mixed company, right? Don't fight in front of white folks, Indians, and Chinese. You take that behind closed doors and you work it out between yourself because that weakens your power. You don't fight in front of mixed company. So they didn't abandon that. That's all out the window because of the new grip, the FBA fake grip. So when that's done, when he's not making no money for that, he'll throw that shit into the river and start a new grip. Go ahead, Trey.
Ricky also says, I'll talk to you when you come over on the weekend. And literally, I think those are all the comments of
Yeah, okay, call in. Yeah, come on the weekend. Call in, Rick. Call in, Rick, this week. Call in. I think you guys go. Man, I hope Big Cheese is good. We ain't seen Big Cheese in like 2 or 3 months. Hope Big Cheese is well. Huh?
Yeah, he's not been on for a month since December, since the time of my birthday, I guess.
Yeah, a month and a half. That's shit. Hopefully he's okay. Shit. Don't never know.
Yeah.
He says he's got a bunch of meth heads out front of his house. I hope he's not getting beaten in the head by a bunch of meth heads.
I doubt he will be yet listening. Literally, I think we're gonna wrap it up right there, family. So
Yeah, much love, fam.
Of today's conversation. Tomorrow, remember, in case you're here and you'd love to listen to some amazing music, join me on the network and on TikTok and request anything you'd like to listen to. Literally, it's gonna be the Culture Show every Thursday with me playing music and amazing conversations. See you.
So we're going to be playing a lot of music by tethers. A lot of tether music.
But yeah, I'm gonna be playing you guys music. Have yourselves a beautiful rest part of your day. This ain't no Somali head wrap, Jabba. Get it right, please. I knew you'd pull something. Have yourselves a beautiful day. See you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.
Greetings and salutations, massive news, Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland.
You guys better run, so she might have an inbred head baby.